Hi, welcome back to the Gluten Gang. Let's talk about the Switch 2.
Again.
Before we get started, I do want to say thank you to everyone who left comments in my last few videos, especially regarding the physical digital cartridges, however you want to word those. Not only was I completely wrong about how those cartridges work, but it also really helped relieve a lot of fears that I had about the Switch 2 and knowing that those cartridges are not going to be DRM. So it's really nice knowing that used games are not going to die, at least not on this system. First and foremost, I want to talk about the battery life. If you are going to have a handheld console and you are going to be upgrading it, the battery life is included. The Switch 2 battery life being worse than any iteration of the first Switch is insane. In addition, these new Joy-Con controllers, they're not going to have Hall effect. To put that in the layman term, Hall effect is a more durable and precise measurement of controller inputs, specifically for the sticks. Long story short, welcome back Joy-Con drift. Also, no Hall effect, but we get the mouse mode. Don't get me wrong, that is super cool. I have seen the videos of people taking their Joy-Cons, placing it flat on a flat surface, and using it like a computer mouse. I think that's so cool and super innovative. My fear is that it is going to fall flat. Let me remind you, the original Joy-Con controller has an IR camera. How many games use it in the thousands of games in the library? The last little piece I want to talk about is, at the current time of recording, there are over 100 games that are incompatible with the Switch 2. The problem with that is they're using this term so vaguely that it could be either an audio bug or the game simply never working on the system or anything in between, and there is no clear verbiage on what that could be. I remember when the PS5 was getting ready to launch, there were 6 PS4 games that were just flat out not going to work on the PS5. Rightfully so, people were upset about that. They weren't the biggest titles, however, those are still games that people bought that they want to play, and they weren't allowed to on the PS5. Where is that same outrage for this? That is 100 plus games. For a system that is 8 years old, you would think that providing the bare minimum would be anything but an upgrade. Don't get me wrong, I am very hyped that this system is getting the much needed facelift that it deserves. I just wish we were getting features that were actually innovative and that were going to be used. So with all the crazy news that has dropped since the reveal of the Switch 2, what do you guys think? I feel like I only just scratched the surface. Did you guys plan on getting a Switch 2 and now you changed your mind, or vice versa? Are you planning on getting one now? Let me know in the comments below. As always, wash your hands, stay blessed, and don't be burnt toast. I'll see you guys in the next video.